Good morning once again. Today we're going to continue our discussion on time value of money. So let's just have a very brief review of what we have discussed so far. Okay, so far we have learned how to use the functionalities of Excel in computing in compounding, in discounting, in computing for the equivalent annuity, computing for the number of years, number of terms, and even the rate. So naglalaro lang naman dun sa limang yun, ano? Yung FV, PV, PMT, rate, and per. Okay, so we learned the equivalency. We learned also how to compute for the present value of an annuity, the future value, or given the present value, ano yung equivalent na annuity niya, or future value, ano yung equivalent na annuity niya. And we also learned last time to evaluate a given a project. For example, may project tayo na andun yung cash flows natin, kasama yung outflows and then the inflows. We learned how to evaluate whether the project is feasible or not, making use of metrics like NPV or NFV. Sabi natin, net present value is the sum of your inflows, present value of your cash inflows netted against the present value of your cash outflows. And then the decision rule is that if the NPV is positive, then okay, feasible yung project. Now we can of course use the net future value, pero mas ginagamit si NPV. And if positive si NPV, natural positive din guys si NFV. Kasi these are equivalent values. Okay, we can compute for the NFV using the NPV. All right. And we also use the IRR, internal rate of return. Sabi natin, if the IRR is greater than the weighted average cost of capital, then the project is feasible. Okay, so here, since our WACC is 10%, our IRR is 15.47%, then based on IRR, the project is feasible, the project is acceptable. Now, oftentimes, NPV and IRR will agree with their results, but sometimes they may disagree, they may contradict each other, and we said that if that happens, then we follow the NPV kasi mas theoretically sound yung pag-compute ng NPV. Kasi in computing for the IRR, may mga assumptions na ginagamit dyan. Okay? Then we said also that IRR can be defined as that rate of return where the net present value is equal to 0. So if we assume that the WACC is equal to the IRR, 15.47, then pag kinompute natin yung NPV niya using the rate equal to your IRR, then we will get a value equal to 0. So sabi natin, when the WACC is equal to IRR, we are indifferent to accepting the project or not. Kasi parang na recover lang natin yung minimum hurdle rate. Okay, so NPV is the net present value of your cash flows will be 0. So to accept the project or not will depend on maybe other factors. Okay, for example, the company would want to have a presence in that industry. Kung saan man yung project na yon, then maybe they can say yes to the project kahit na parang break even lang sila dun sa project na yon. Okay, so today, guys, we're going to learn the concept of annual percentage return versus the effective annual return or effective annual rate, APR versus EAR. Okay, and then we're going to look at it through an example. Okay, so let's suppose, guys, that we have 1 million now, and we'd like to put this in an investment for 30 years in an investment vehicle that earns 10%. So, magkano yung future value natin, guys, at the end of 30 years if the interest is computed once a year? So, if the interest is computed once a year, guys, ang compounding yan, one time lang per year. So, ang tawag doon, yung frequency na yan, annual siya. So, we know how to compute that is equal to negative FB, diba? Ang rate natin is 10%, comma, N per is 30 years, comma, PMT ignore kasi hindi naman annuity to. This is just a single cash flow. PV natin is 1 million. And then ignore the type kasi yung type natin, guys, Hindi naman siya annuity, no? Control Enter. So you have this 17,449,402.27. Okay? So yung 1 million natin ngayon, in 30 years time, at 10%, magiging 17,449. Okay, now it will be different kung computation is done, computation interest is done 2 times a year. Ang tawag doon guys, semi-annual. Okay, so how does that look like? So if we plot this, itong timeline natin, pakita ko lang okay, yung sa second worksheet natin. So ito yung ano natin, ito yung investment scheme natin. So this is time 0, so simulang-simula, no? And then up to 30 years. So dun sa annual compounding, how many times a year kino-compute yung interest? Once lang. Interest is computed one time lang per year. So sabi natin ang okay, copy ko to kindly copy na lang guys, no? So this is your APR, 10%. This is the number of years, 30. So kapag annual guys, the rate per period will be 10%, okay, divided by 1. So once lang kasi siya, no? Tapos yung rate natin is equal to, yung periods pala 30 times 1. Okay? So which means guys, pag annual lang, isang beses lang yung computation per year ng interest. So ang effective rate natin, 10% lang din. Ilang period siya? 30. No? Okay, let's go back here. Pag semi-annual naman, ibig sabihin 2 times a year. So ibig sabihin 2 times kino-compute yung interest. So kunyari, January 1 at saka July 1. May 6 months yung ano nila, yung pagitan nila, no? So once a year, in 1 year guys, in 1 year, 2 times kino-compute yung interest. Okay? So magkano guys, paki-chat nga kung magkano yung magiging, kunyari sa January 1, anong rate ang gagamitin? How much will be the interest on January 1? Ilang percent yun? Paki-chat please. Okay, thank you Sophia, you're correct. No? 5%. January 1, 5%. July 1, 5% din. So pag kinumulate natin yun, 10% yun. Okay? So that's what happens guys pag semi-annual. 2 times yung computation. Okay? So if we're going to count guys, if we're going to count, kung 30 years tayo, yung duration ng investment natin, ilang beses magko-compute ng interest? So paki-chat please, ilang beses magko-compute ng interest? Yes, correct. Thank you so much. You're correct. 60, no? Tama, 60 times. Very good guys. Tama yung answer nyo, no? 60 times. Kasi 30 years, tapos in 1 year, 2 times, so 60 times yun. Now each time guys, anong interest rate ang gagamitin? Each time na magko-compute tayo ng interest, as answered a while ago, it's 5%. So 10% divided by 2. So we can now compute for the future value kung semi-annual yung compounding natin. So this is equal to negative FB. Okay, a rate is 10%, okay, divided by 2. Okay, di ba? Ang magiging rate natin is, since every 6 months tayo magko-compute ng interest, i-divide natin yung rate natin ng 10% divided by kung ilang beses tayo magko-compute per year. Then comma, N per natin will be 30 times 2, no? So ito yung total periods natin, yung number of periods will be hindi 30. Kasi 2 times per year, so 30 times 2. Then comma, so we won't mind the PMT kasi hindi naman annuity to, comma. So PV natin is 1 million. And then ignore the type because this is not an annuity. Okay. So what do you notice, guys? What do you notice? Ang conclusion natin, kung mas maraming compounding per year, mas malaki yung future value natin. Okay? So, balik tayo dito sa diagram natin, no? Baka may question? Yeah, correct. Thank you, Sophia. Mas mataas, no? Mas mataas yung future value natin pag mas maraming compounding per year. balikan natin tong timeline natin. So, pag semi-annual, guys, ano mangyayari? Magkano yung rate per period natin? It will be, our rate per period will be 10% divided by 2. No? So that's magiging 5% na lang yan. Per period kasi. No? Tapos, pero yung number of compounding natin will be, so this is 30 times 2. So that's 60. So it goes to show, guys, na kapag quarterly naman, so I'll follow this formula. 10% divided by 4, so that's 2.5%. And then so this should be times 2, no? 120. Okay, so ito yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, guys. Ito yung timeline natin. So sa quarterly, 4 times kino-compound yung interest. So, siyempre, may interest sa quarter 1, interest sa quarter 2, interest sa quarter 3, interest sa quarter 4. So every time, guys, pag compute natin ng quarter 1, may interest yun. Pag compute natin ng quarter 2, may interest na i-compute natin. So there will be interest on interest on interest on interest. So that's why our future value is now greater kaysa sa annual na compounding. Yes, no? Very good observation, Sophia. Sophia, could you kindly share your answer? Kino-consider niya yung time value of money, no? Tama yun. Sophia, that's a very good observation. Yan. Sabi ni Sophia, pagbayad ng tuition, mas mura full payment agad. So pag may parang installment plan, syempre may cost of money kasi. So that's why mas mataas yung kapag mag-aano tayo ng installment or for a later date, no? Okay, that's very good. That's an application, guys. Okay, so balik tayo dito. Now, what I want you to do now is, erase ko to. I'd like you to write, I'll give you 1 minute for it, guys. Time to exercise to. Time to exercise. Let's see, guys, kung kaya nyo ilagay dito yung formula. One formula to compute for the future value, tapos i-copy down natin dito hanggang dito, no? Up to here. Hindi natin pwedeng gamitin tong sa infinite na to. Okay, so pakilagay yung formula natin dito para pag kinopy down natin yung formula dito ng future value, then tama yung future value natin. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. Timer starts now. Go. Okay, so no suggested answer. Sige, sagutin natin, guys, ha. Meron dito, no? Okay, Janry. Sige. Okay. Copy ko tong answer ni Janry, ha. Control C. Okay, so Janry, can you explain your answer?
Sir, yung future value po.
Okay,
yung rate po.
Ay, 10%.
Ay, sorry po, mali po. Wait lang po.
Sige lang.
Yung rate po dapat divided by yung fix ng B72.
Okay. So sige, ano ko yung sinasabi mo, ha. So F2. So it's equal to, oops, mali. So this is equal to, negative natin, ha. So binigyan mo ng pangalan yung rate, 10%. Saan ba yung rate mo? 10% ba yung rate mo?
Opo, yung 10% po.
Sige, ilalagay ko dito, ha, 10%. Okay?
Tapos divided po.
I-divide ko ng
fix na column B.
Column B. Ito?
Opo, yan po.
Itong 1. Yan.
Tapos i-fix niyo po yung column B.
Ito, yung
Yung sa division po. Yan po.
Ito yung B72.
Opo. Yung B lang po. Yung column B
I-fix
lang.
ko yung column B.
Opo.
Yan, B72.
Tapos, yung N per po.
N per is this one, no?
Opo. Yun po yung multiply po natin.
I-multiply natin. I-multiply ko dito.
Tapos yung present. Opo. Tapos
Do I-
fix din po.
Fix yung column.
Opo.
Okay, fix yung column.
Tapos
And then,
yung present value as is po.
okay, so walang PMT kasi dapat yung susunod PMT.
Wala po.
Wala. So kama-kama. Tapos PV.
As is po.
So tatanggalin ko to.
Opo.
So ito. Yan. Okay? Okay na yan? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Control Enter. Okay. Okay. So, kung may humabol na answer si Marion, copy ko lang to. Okay, I'll get back to your answer, Marion. Control C. Ano mo natin answer ni Jandri. Okay, so let's take a look at the answer of Jandri. Sabi ni Jandri, okay. So, ang ano niya, ang rate is 10% divided by 1. Okay, tapos si N per is 30 times 1. Pero ang Phoenix ni Jandri yung ano yung periods per year. Walang PMT, tapos tapos ito yung present value, no, yung B68. Okay. So let's copy the formula. Okay. Kaso Jandri, pag ganito yung formula natin, mag-error tayo, no? So let's decipher this. Okay, then compare it with the answer ni Marion, no? So i-copy ko to. Okay. I-ano ko muna yung Control C. And then I'll copy this here. Okay, tapos lagyan natin ng equal to dito, equal to negative. Okay, and then i-format lang natin. Number lang siya. Okay, let's see the answer of Marion. Okay, according to Marion, paki-explain mo nga yung answer mo.
Hi, sir. So,
Yes.
yun nga, equals negative FB given naman na yun. Tapos, since yung mga data na, yung nasa upper left, yun po
Okay.
yung mga data na hindi gumagalaw. So, dapat yun yung naka-fix.
Okay. I-fix natin to, no?
Apo.
So B69, this is your rate divided by yung periods per year, 1.
Apo. Tapos
So
yung periods of
pag
year,
kinapin natin pababa to, hindi gagalaw yung yung 10% na to, yung B69, no?
yep,
Diba? Tapos dito, this is N per is 30. I-multiply natin sa 1. Tama?
Apo.
And
Yep.
then, walang laman yung PMT kasi hindi annuity to. And then, if-fix din natin yung present value.
Present value.
Okay, let's see if this is the answer. Okay, then i-copy down natin.
Woohoo!
Okay, so this is correct, no? Janry, thank you so much. No? So Janry and Marion, you get +2 points sa akin, ano? Lagay ko lang dito. Janry and Marion. So this is August 26. ABM12D. So +2 points kayo sa bonuses natin. Okay? So remember guys, i-cumulate natin mga bonus points na yan. Okay, to get a maximum 5% guys sa final grade. So malaki 'yon, ha? Malaking plus 'yon. Kaya I would suggest that you really so next week may mga activities na naman tayo, group activities na naman tayo pang bonus, no? Okay, so thank you Janry, thank you Marion. Marion, we can improve this. Pwede nating wag na i-fix si column B kasi how are we going to copy the formula? Pababa naman di ba? So, pwede na to yung $69. Pwede na rin to $70 at saka ito $68. Why do we not need to fix the column? Kasi we're going to copy the formula going down. So, no point in fixing the column kasi when we copy the formula, ano naman siya, yung pababa naman siya, no? Okay, so let's see. Okay, thank you, Marion. Okay. Okay, thank you, Sophia. Okay, so thank you, Janry, and thank you, Marion, for contributing your answers. Okay, so balik na tayo dito. All right. Now, ang question, guys, paano pag infinite compounding? Ang tawag dyan, guys, continuous compounding, or it's called perpetuity. Hindi naman natin pwede i-copy yung formula kasi text to no? Infinite. And by the way, guys, notice, guys, kung daily compounding, ang laki ng difference kaysa annual, ano? Imagine, i-ano natin. Kunyari di ba recently si Manny Pacquiao lumaban, ang nabasa ko sa news, ang minimum earnings siya dito, depende pa yan dun sa ticket sales dun sa online, no? Mga 2 billion yata. No? So kunyari 2 billion yung i-invest ni Manny Pacquiao. Okay, 2 billion. So this is 2 billion at 10% for 30 years. Okay, let's see kung magkano yung difference kung annual compounding versus daily compounding. Well, guys, in 6 years, yung 6 billion yung difference. No? Almost 6 billion yung difference kung annual compounding at saka daily compounding. Okay, so you can see the difference. Ito yung power ng yung power of compounding. So ito kasi once a year lang kino-compound. Ito 365 times a year. So the more the frequency of the compounding is, the greater will be the future value, the equivalent future value. So we can see here big deep discrepancy. Ang laki ng difference ng annual compounding at saka daily compounding. Tapos mas maano pa yan, guys, kung lakihan pa natin interest rate. Kunyari gawin natin sabihin natin 20%, no? Tingnan nyo, guys. Look at the difference, diba? Look at the difference. So lahat, guys, kasi 'di ba, yung ano natin, yung pag-compute ng future value is equal to present value times 1 plus r raised to the t. So exponential yung compound rate natin. So kung mas mataas yung APR natin, okay, mas grabe yung impact sa future value. Take a look at that. Halos doble na, no? Yung difference sa billions na to. Okay, so I'm just ina-exaggerate ko lang yung difference, no? Okay, so balikan na natin yung dating example natin. So that was 10% and 1 million. Okay, now how do we compute, guys, kung perpetuity siya? Ibig sabihin continuous compounding. The way to compute for that is, okay, so let me write that. So its future value is equal to the present value times e raised to the r times t. So this is now our compound factor, e raised to the rt. Okay, baka may question. Okay. Thank you for your comment, Sophia. Okay, now, na-meet nyo na ba itong E? Have you met this mathematical quantity na E? Paki-chat nga, please. Okay, Euler, yes, you're correct. Euler's number yan, no? And si Euler, guys, it's what we call a transcendental number. Pinsan ni pi yan. Si pi. Okay, take a look at pi. Si pi, these two, ito naman si Euler, pwede natin makuha ito. So sabi, returns E raised to the power of a given number. So in Excel, ginagamit natin to get E is EXP. 1, ibig sabihin E to the 1 or equal to E. So it's 2.71828. Of course, na to, truncated na to. Ibig sabihin, hindi talaga ito yung number na to. Okay, so si pi at saka si e, they're both transcendental numbers or irrational numbers. Ibig sabihin ng irrational numbers, you cannot express it as a quotient, as a proportion of a over b. Kasi pag ma-express natin yung isang number na a over b, that means it's either repeating or non-terminating. For example, itong 1.5. Ang ibig sabihin ng 1.5 guys, 3/2, di ba? Okay, 3.55555, this is repeating. We can express this as 3 point as A/B. Okay, ito din, repeating number, 2.343, 234, 234, 234. These are repeating numbers. Okay, ito terminating numbers. So these are what we call rational numbers to. Okay, because it can be expressed as a quotient of A/B. Itong E at saka pi guys, these are irrational numbers. So which means that if you can use a very powerful supercomputer, tapos ipiprint na sa bond paper yung value ng E, font 1, no? So back to back pa yan guys, no? Siguro ilang lines sa isang legal pa na bond paper, no? And then sa likod pa, tapos stack up pa natin yung paper na yan, aabot ng moon yan, and back to earth, and back to the moon, back to the earth, na walang katapusan guys. So ganun yung na hindi umuulit-ulit. That's what I meant. No? So si Euler, guys, that's a very important number. Maraming gamit siya. In fact, ginagamit na siya. I don't know if you've heard of the golden ratio. If not guys, i-YouTube nyo siya. Hanapin nyo. Very interesting tong golden ratio. Kasi it occurs in nature in many forms. Gumagamit din ng ion. Pati pi, no? So si golden ratio. Okay, so we can now compute for the future value if the compounding is continuous. So it's equal to, it's the present value multiplied by times. So we use the exp function of Excel, e to the r times t. So there. When we have continuous compounding, this is how you compute for the future value. It's equal to the present value times e to the rt. And we, of course, we expect that this should be greater than daily compounding. Ayan, no? So, see, continuous compounding, guys, it's also called perpetuity. And then the way to compute for your future value is PV times e to the rt. As expected, as I said, guys, it has a bigger future value compared to daily, even so weekly, no, compounding. Okay, so sandali, may questions ba? Yeah, thank you, Grace. Yung golden ratio, yung pi grid dyan. Euler, Venice. Ang pag-pronounce siya Euler, hindi Euler. No? Euler yung spelling, pero ang pag-pronounce niya Euler. Euler's number. Okay, so nung grade 10 ako, yeah, non-terminating, non-repeating. Wait. Ang rational, non-terminating, non-repeating, di ba? Ang irrational, yung hindi, ang rational, guys, repeating at saka terminating. Ang irrational, non-terminating, non-repeating. Mali ba yung sinabi ko kanina? Okay, if mali, guys, sorry baliktad, no? So, ang irrational, guys, non-repeating, non-terminating. Kaya nga itong si Euler at saka yung Euler's number at saka yung pi, these are irrational numbers. Ito, 1.5 at saka 3.555, these are rational numbers kasi they can be expressed as A/B. Okay? Okay, ito madali lang guys, yung madali lang i-express to as A/B, okay? Pero hindi naman math to, so let's dispense with that. Okay, so if we're going to compare this, guys, all of this will be we will have this in 30 years time. Okay? So yung 1 million natin naging 17, naging 18, etc., no? In 30 years time. Of course, guys, if we're going to compare apples with apples, pwede natin sabihin na mas malaki yung rates nitong mas malaking numbers. Okay, kasi mas malaki yung future value nila. So we call that yung effective annual rate. So yung effective annual rate, guys, will be bigger if your future value is bigger. So take note, pare-pareho silang 30 years, pare-pareho 1 million. Okay, yung future value nitong annual compounding is 17.4. Itong semi-annual is 18.7. No? So let's compute now for what we call the effective annual return or effective annual rate. And we can use the rate function in Excel. So rate, okay, ang NPER natin, 30 years, di ba? So let's fix that, comma, PMT ignore kasi hindi siya PMT, comma, present value natin is 1 million, fix that, comma, future value natin is the given future value. Okay, then we know guys na kapag rate ang kinocompute natin, very careful tayo dun sa direction ng cash flow. So since si present value positive, dapat si future value negative or vice versa. Okay, so this is the formula for us to compute the rate and then we can copy down. Okay, as expected guys, si APR okay, will be equal to your EAR pag annual compounding lang. Kasi isang beses lang kino-compute yung interest. Pero kapag 2 times na, iba na yung EAR natin. Our effective annual interest will now be 10.25%. Okay, so definitely mas malaki guys kasi we get a higher future value as compared to pag annual compounding, we get 17,449. Pag semi-annual, we get 18,667. So we expect that the rate will be higher. And this is called your effective annual rate. Okay, ito effective annual rate din. Kaso pareho lang siya sa annual percentage rate or the nominal rate or the stated rate. Marami kasing pangalan din to. No? Pag nagtatransact tayo guys, unless may specification na kunyari 5% semi-annual, pag walang ganun na specification, lagi yung interest, ano yan, annual yan. So ito, sinabi lang na 10%, automatic yan, annual yan. So that's the annual percentage return or the nominal rate or the stated rate. Okay? So let's copy this down. Yan. So we can see, guys, that the effective annual rate is higher if the compounding is more frequent. Obviously, guys, kasi ang future value nito 20,085 na eh. Natural, mas mataas yung effective rate na to compared to 17,449 yung future value. No? So we can see here, we can compute for the effective annual rate by using the rate function of Excel. Okay, but we have to compute first for the future value. So dapat alam natin yung future value and then we can compute for the rate, effective annual return, given yung present value. Okay, pause muna ako, may question natin. Okay, why negative yung FV natin? Okay, pwede naman hindi negative, no? Kaso nga lang, pag hindi natin ginawa negative, di ba? Negative yung lalabas na answer. Okay, and then we don't want that, guys, kasi gusto lang natin yung value lang ng present value. Okay, so did that answer your question, Ivan? Okay, pwede naman guys, hindi natin may negative FB. Kaso nga lang, magiging negative nga yung answer natin. And ako gusto ko lang malaman yung values, guys, kaya i-negative ko yung FB para yung answer natin positive. Okay, so let me check, baka may mga questions pa. Okay, formula for halos pareho lang yung sabi ni Venice, nila, parehas lang po pala yung rate ng continuous. Well, it depends, no? It depends. Kasi 1 million lang ginagamit natin dito eh. Ang difference nila, well, this is almost 8 plus million. 8 plus, sorry, ano pala, 8 plus thousand. Mas magiging malaki yung ano nila guys, kung mas malaki yung amount na kino-consider natin. Parang kanina, di ba? If this was 2 billion, balikan ko to 2 billion siya. Kunyari ito yung kay Manny Pacquiao. Okay. So daily is 40.15 billion. This is 40.17 billion. So a difference of mga 18 million, okay? Around 18 million. So yung malaki or maliit, depende yan guys sa nagbabasa. It's relative. 18 million might be a big difference for others. While siguro kung si Manny Pacquiao ang tatanungin natin, siguro 18 million, bali wala sa kanya yan kung 18 million lang yan. Pero if you're going to ask somebody, an ordinary employee, no, na halos naghihikaos lang sa sweldo na minimum, 18 million is already a lot, no? So relative yung sinasabi natin na maliit lang yung difference, okay? Okay, did that answer your Venice? Yung rate, okay, yung rate, okay. Again, yung rate, it will depend din dun sa sa mga parameters natin. Okay, but if you take a look at this, given these parameters, yeah, konti nga lang, no? 0.00 around 0.002 something percent lang yung difference. Okay? So, may question pa dito I think si Sofia. Okay, thank you, Venice. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate that. Formula sa perpetuity. Okay, question dito sa perpetuity. Ang formula to compute for the future value ba, Sofia? So this is the formula to compute for the future value of the perpetuity. Ito yung formula. Okay, the future value is equal to the present value times xe to the RT. Okay. Did I answer your question, Sophia? Okay, may question pa dito. Bakit po
Yes,
walang
thank you po,
lumalabas?
sir.
Okay. Saan yung may question si Marion, saan yung question mo? Walang lumalabas sa bi-monthly at saka okay, dito sa rate, no?
Yung
Okay, kasi
Opo.
wait. Dali. Oops, ano nangyari? Control Z. Okay, so formula natin dito, kanina meron na to eh. Okay. Kasi wait, ano nangyari dito? Rate B70 and per ulitin natin para sure tayo. So rate natin will be N per is 30, di ba? Naka-fix to. F4. Okay, ang kino-compare lang natin guys, 30 years sila pare-pareho and ang naiiba lang yung future value. So hindi natin ibabalik yung compounding kasi babalik tayo na ang rate nan will be 10%. Comma, PMT is none, PV is this one. Okay, then we fix that also. Then comma, FV natin is this one. Then there should be a negative here para opposite yung direction ng cash flow natin. Control Enter. Then copy down. Oh, bakit? What happened here? Negative C75. Oh, what happened, guys? Ba't nagna-number to? Rate. So this is ANPER is 30 years. Okay, PMT ignore, wala. Present value natin is 2 million. Okay, and then future value natin is tama naman. Y. Dala, ibalik ko lang sa 1 million to. Let me check. Bakit? Bakit nung ginawa natin tong 2 million, bakit nag-error siya? That's strange. Oo nga, nagtatampo si Excel eh. But that should not be, guys, ha? Kasi 2 billion, maliit lang yan sa Excel, 3, 1, 2, 3. Tama naman. Negative C75. Very curious. Okay, so sige, iwanan muna natin yan, guys, yung concern. I'll investigate kung bakit siya nag-error, ano? This is just a small number. Bakit kaya nag-error siya? Ano po yung formula? Rate N per is 30, comma. Present value is 2 billion. Naka-fix siya, comma. So, future value is this one. And dapat naka-negative siya. Ganun nag-error. Okay, sige, i-explore ko yun ha. And I'll tell you next meeting siguro. So balik muna tayo ng 1 million. Kasi pag 1 million, walang problema eh. I'm just surprised why. Sa kaninang section guys, ginawa namin yun. Nag-okay naman siya. Wala kaming problema. So I'm wondering why. It's strange. Huh? It's weird. Kulang ng space sa cell. Kulang ng space sa cell. What do you mean, Sophia? Saang space? Hindi.
Sir, never mind po sir, sinabi ko. Because I tried din po kasi, pero hindi siya gumana.
Nag-error din,
po
ano?
was that maybe the value
yung space.
inside the cell, yes, was
Oo,
too
tataasan lang.
and too large.
Pero pag ano yon, dapat mga hashtag lang nakalagay, no? Hindi yung error.
Yes, ayun nga po.
Oo, dapat naka-hashtag lang siya that indicates na hindi kumakasya yung sa space natin yung value. Okay, anyway guys, I promise to look into that kung bakit ganun. Kasi ginawa namin kanina yan, wala naman kaming problema. Nakuha din namin yung answer. It's very strange, no? Okay, anyway, so how do we compute for the EAR, the effective annual return? Number one, we can use the rate function of Excel, pero dapat computein muna namin yung FV, no? Computein muna natin dapat yung FV. Or if you want, pwede din naman ganito. So instead of having a value here, so pwede natin ilagay yung formula ng FB dito. Okay, which is medyo mahaba-haba nga lang to, no? Ito. Control C. Dito natin siya ilalagay. Control V. So pag FB natin guys, this will return a negative answer. So tama ito. Although parang pinahirap lang natin yung sarili natin, no? Control Enter, yan. Ay, hindi pala pwede dito. Sorry. Okay. So what I'm saying here, guys, is that instead of computing for the FB separately, pwede natin ilagay na lang FB sa loob ng formula. And of course, it makes the formula a bit longer and mas mahirap na sundan, no? Okay, I hope you got me guys. Nakuha nyo ba yung ginawa ko dito? Which I don't recommend, no? Kasi pwede naman tayo maglagay na lang ng cell for FB. Okay, so let me undo that formula. Okay, so diretso na lang tayo dito. Okay. So another way to compute for the effective annual return is this formula. Okay. The effective annual return can be computed using this formula and it's equal to, naglagay ako guys ng formula dito, comment, no? Effective annual return is equal to 1 plus the nominal rate divided by the periods per year, okay, raised to the periods per year. Yan. So that's our formula for effective annual return. Okay, so let's follow that formula. So this is equal to 1 plus the nominal rate of 10%, okay, i-fix natin siya, okay, raised to the, divided by the periods per year, okay, raised to the periods per year, okay, minus 1. So that's our formula. Copy down. Okay, we cannot copy it here kasi ang natin dito, ang reference is a text infinite. So mag-error tayo kung i-copy natin dito. Okay, so they're the same, no? They're the same, exactly the same. Parehong-pareho siya. So we have already explored two ways in order to compute for effective annual return. First is compute for the future value and then use the rate function. Second is just the formula, straightforward formula. 1 plus the nominal rate divided by yung PPY, periods per year. And then erase natin sa PPY and then minus 1. Okay, so for pag continuous compounding, kapag perpetuity, the formula to compute for your effective rate is, okay, let's write it here. The effective annual return for a continuous compounding is equal to E to the R minus 1. Okay, so para dito yan, ano? Para dito. So pag continuous compounding, guys, and if you want to compute for the effective annual return, it's equal to exponential E to the R, E to the rate, and then minus 1. Control Enter. You get 10 point, exactly the same as yung sa rate function natin dito. Okay, thank you. All right. Pause muna ako, guys. Okay, i-flash ko lang yung formula dito. I'll give you a few seconds to input in your cells. Okay, and I'll entertain questions now. May mga questions kayo? Any particular cell you want me to flash again? You might want to seek clarification on or with. Okay, baka may questions tayo, guys. Okay, thank you. All right, so sige, pakitanong na lang, guys. Paki-chat na lang kung clear so far. Kung clear, guys, paki-yes na lang, please. So I hope many of you will respond. Okay, thank you. So more responses, please. Kung clear tayo so far. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the responses. Okay, mukhang clear naman. All right. So lastly, guys, we can compute. Ito yung pinakamadali kasi dito kasi sa rate function, kailangan mo natin hanapan si future value, di ba? Yung formula naman, straightforward din to. Okay, pero yung pinakamadali talaga yung effect function Excel. So if I type effect, sabi dito, returns the effective annual interest rate. Yun na. Diretso lang. So ang parameters lang kailangan natin yung nominal rate at saka yung N per Y. So this is very easy. Nominal rate natin is 10%. Fix natin, comma. Periods per year is this one. So that's it, guys. And then, of course, we can copy this hanggang dito lang sa daily. We cannot copy it up to continuous kasi text lang yung nakalagay natin dito. Okay, Control Enter. So we have this there. So pareho, no? Exactly the same. Okay, questions, guys? Ito yung pinakamadali, no? Effect function is equal to effect lang. Okay, let me entertain questions. Okay, clear? Okay, so wala namang questions? Okay, so this ends, guys, our discussion for this worksheet. So quick review lang. We learned how to do compounding, discounting. Pag sinabi natin compounding, we're getting the future value. And then we're multiplying our present value with a compound factor. The opposite naman yung discounting. Ang discount factor natin is 1 plus r raised to the negative t. Okay, we also learned how to make use of the functionalities in Excel, yung FV, PV, PMT, rate, at saka NPER. Sabi natin, Excel is very particular about the direction of the cash flow. So may mga adjustments tayong ginagawa, especially pag i-compute natin yung rate at saka yung NPER. Okay, we learned how to compute for the PMT, guys. Okay, we also learned how to determine if a project is feasible or not, making use of the concept of NPV and IRR. Okay, so I hope this is clear to us. And then here we learned how to compute for the effective annual rate. Okay, so that's EAR. Okay, and we looked at 3 ways by which to compute for the EAR. All right, so now we go to this one, yung amortization natin. So for amortization, I'm going to share with you two pag-ibig URLs. Okay, so let me share this sa chat natin. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds, guys, to open this and then navigate through this. Tingnan nyo lang kung ano yung laman ng mga sites na to. Yung una, yung frequently asked questions on housing loans. Pangalawa, yung this is the calculator to. No? Sige, explore nyo lang. I'll give you a few seconds. I'll open it also. Affordability Calculator at saka ito yung frequently asked questions. So let's proceed, guys. Tingnan muna natin itong laman itong dalawang sites na to. Later on, guys, you might want to explore pag naging employed na kayo tapos nakapag 2 years na kayo na contribution sa pag-ibig, pwede na kayong mag-loan sa pag-ibig. So these are the details. What can I do with the pag-ibig fund housing loan? We will not go into that. I'll leave that to you. But this is now, guys, an application of the time value of money concepts. Yung mga natutunan natin sa time value of money, i-apply natin ngayon. So this is a practical application. No? So real world problem to. No? So ito sinasabi dito, number 4, what are the interest rates? So ang current rates ngayon will be, pag 1 year, 5.75%, pag 30 years, 9.875%. So if you can see that here. Now this is very consistent with the concept of risk and return principle. Kasi pag mas malaki yung term ng loan, mas malaki yung chance na hindi makakabayad. No? So that means the lender, in this case pag-ibig, assumes a greater amount of risk. And sabi natin, the higher the assumed risk, the greater should be the required return. Okay, so ano yung question dito na year fixing, 1 year tapos parang I'm not sure yet no about yung terminology na ginagamit ni pag-ibig. I think it means na pwedeng ang understanding ko I'm not sure but I'll check no. Ang ibig sabihin fixing, ibig sabihin kasi pwedeng magbago yung interest rates. So ibig sabihin yan pwedeng ibaguhin yung pwedeng baguhin yung interest rate depende dun sa prevailing market rates. Kasi nagre-reassess ang pag-ibig. Kunyari mataas na yung mga interest rates. So malulugi naman sila kung ganun pa rin yung interest rates. Okay, so it has something to do with the interest rate kasi pwedeng magbago, no? So magre-repricing sila. Okay, so I think that's what this means. But we can check naman. Actually, pwede natin tawagin yung pag-ibig tapos i-check natin kung anong ibig sabihin niyan. No? I was just guessing. No? And then let's go to the other side. Ito. Okay, affordability calculator. We will assume, guys, that dali baka may question. Okay, thank you, Venice. We will assume that maglo-loan tayo ng 5 million. No? So tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari. Dito sa site na to, may drop down dito. Sabi, click what you want to compute, how much income is desired, how much you can borrow based on your income, tapos how much, tingnan na lang muna natin to, how much you can borrow based on the value of the property. Okay, so kindly put here 5 million. So i-assume natin na ang value ng property na bibilhin natin is 5 million. Okay, tapos repayment period, gawin natin 30 years kunyari, no? 30 years na lang. Yung pinaka-maximum. 30 years. Tapos fixed pricing period, Gawin natin 30 years. Okay, 30 years. Okay. So sabi dito guys, ang interest pag 30 years, yung pinakita natin kanina, is 9.875. So tandaan natin to 9.875. And then you see here, may value, may quantities pa na binigay dito. Sabi ni Pag-ibig na kung manghihiram tayo ng, okay, by the way guys, you can approximately loan 4.5 million. So ibig sabihin nito guys, yung 5 million na property na gusto nating bilhin para i-loan sa Pag-ibig, ang pwede lang natin i-loan doon yung 4.5 million. Ibig sabihin nun, the rest will be equity. So the difference of this is 500,000, which means 10% yun ng 5 million. Ibig sabihin ng equity natin doon, 10%. Yung value ng ano natin ng bahay, 5 million. So tapos 10% yan is 500,000. So ang mahihiram lang natin 4.5 million. Okay, sabi nga dito guys na ang estimated equity should be 500,000. Tapos sinasabi pa dito guys na dapat ang average monthly income pag maglo-loan tayo ng ganito is 111,644. So may way si Pag-ibig para i-compute, no? So dito may mga konting reminders. Rates are effective July 16, 2020 and may change without prior notice. Wala pa namang bagong pinapakita, no? Okay, so reference lang to and not official. Kasi pwedeng magbago yung interest rates nila. Okay, anyway, so ang importante sa atin itong 39,075.69. So let's copy this. Control C. I-copy natin sa sa template natin here. Let's copy this. Okay. Tapos dito guys, may mga inad ako, no? Kindly, kung pwede, paki-copy na lang, paki-insert na lang yung mga linagay ko na rows. So meron tayong loan principal. So the amount is 5 million, di ba? 1, 2, 3. So the amount of the house and lot we want to buy is 5 million. Ang down payment is, yung equity is 10%, no? So therefore, ang pwede lang ma-finance ni Pag-ibig is 5 million times 1 minus the equity. So 90% lang yung i-finance, i-loan niya. So this is the loanable amount, 4.5 million. And as stated in their affordability calculator. Okay? So, ang gagamitin natin, number of years, sabi natin 30 years tayo. No? 30 years. Tapos, ang annual interest rate is based on the schedule nila, 9.875. Okay, I think I copied that. Tama ba? Yan. 30 years, 9.875. Okay, I copied this one from Pag-ibig. Okay, so lagyan natin dito, no, para mas may link tayo. Is equal to this one. 9.875. Okay, 30 years siya, no? 30 years. Therefore, monthly kasi yung yung pag naglo-loan tayo sa Pag-ibig, monthly yung payment niyan. So that's compounding it 12 periods per year, so 12, no? Therefore, our periodic rate or our monthly rate will be 9.875% divided by 12. So ito yung monthly rate natin. Total periods natin will be 30 times 12 months. 30 years kasi times 12 months, so that's 360. Okay, now I'm going to give you 1 minute, guys. 1 minute time to exercise. Magkano yung monthly amortization natin? So kindly write the formula and the amount. Okay, the 1 minute starts now. Go. Okay, so we have one answer. Hindi pala answer, question pala to. No? Ganun po yung interest annually divided into. Yes, yes, tama Lexi. Okay, so 1 minute is up, guys. Compare na natin yung Let's solve this. Let's solve together na lang, no? Okay, so yung monthly amortization, anong function to, guys, pag monthly amortization? What's the function for this one? FB ba to? PV, rate, and per, PMT? Anong gagamitin natin? Yeah, correct, Venice. It's PMT, no? Di ba yung PMT, guys, that's the, ang hinahanap natin dyan, yung annuity, which is the amortization, no? So negative PMT. Okay. Next, ano yung rate natin? Okay, may question si Lexi, sabi niya, ang ginagamit ba natin na ano na rate yung i-divide ba ng 12? Okay, kasi ganito yung problem natin, ano? Ano ba yung amortization natin? Is it yearly? No, it's not yearly. It's monthly. So since monthly amortization natin, dapat yung number of periods natin at saka yung rate natin, dapat monthly din yun. So dapat consistent tayo. Correct. Thank you, Lexi. So ano yung ano natin? Ano yung rate natin? What's our rate, guys? 9.875 is the annual to. Ito APR, guys. Diba? Kaso pag 12 times compounding, sabi natin dapat yung gagamitin natin rate should be the periodic monthly rate. So ito yun. Okay? And dapat yung NPER natin consistent din. Monthly rate tayo, dapat monthly din yung gagamitin natin na total period, which is this one. Otherwise, guys, kung gamitin natin na ito 9.75, then that means annual yung ano natin, annual yung magiging ano natin yan. Annual yung amortization natin yan, annual annuity natin. Okay, and then comma. Okay, so that's present value is ilaloan natin na 4.5 million. Okay, so naglagay na tayo ng negative dito para maging positive yung answer natin. FB, guys, we can, if you want, we can also include FB naman wala. Tapos yung type, since this is an annuity ordinary, lagi guys kapag yan ganyang commercial loan, consumer loan, or housing loan, okay, so annuity, ano yan, annuity ordinary. So the payment happens after one period. So which means monthly yun, ano? Pagka-loan natin sa ngayong buwan na to, the payment will start the following month. So at the end of this month. Control Enter. Okay. 39,075.69. Ano na notice yun dito, guys? Yes, tama, Sophia, 0.8229. 9.875 divided by 12. Tama, correct. So what do you notice about this amount? Itong 39,075.69. May napansin kayo dito, guys? 39,075.69. What did you notice, guys? Hindi ba pareho siya dito? 39,075. Diba? So it's the same as yung nakita natin sa pag-ibig calculator ito. 39,075.69. Okay? So, alright. Thank you for your comment, Sophia. Pero yung sinasabi natin na pareho siya dito, 39,075.69, which we copied a while ago. Ito, 39,075.69. Okay, di ba? Okay, so we were able to show na kung paano kino-compute ni Pag-ibig yung amortization, yung monthly amortization. Okay, using the PMT function in Excel. Yan. So meron tayong bragging rights, guys, na kaya natin i-compute yung table ni Pag-ibig, no? All right. So let's now, guys, what we're going to do now is to prepare now the amortization table. Okay, did you learn how to compute for the amortization table sa kunyari sa math nyo or sa other subjects nyo? Paki-chat nga, please. Kung yes. Nakagawa na ba kayo ng amortization schedule dati? Okay, thank you, Marian. Yes, no? Pero anong ginamit nyo? Excel din? Did you use also Excel? Pero manual lang. Okay, business math, pero slight na lang nare-remember mo. Okay, so manual, ibig sabihin, manual na Excel o manual sa calculator? Did you use Excel? Sa Excel. Pero yung iba calculator, with calculator at saka with sa papel. So manual nga. Manual sa papel, no? Tapos siguro sa Excel, pero ang ginamit nyo siguro yung formula. I don't know, no? Baka yung formula na to. If you recall, guys, pwede naman natin computein yung yung PMT using this formula, di ba ito? R times PV over 1 minus 1 plus R to the negative n. We can use this formula. Kaso dito, ang ginagamit natin yung function in Excel. Okay, kasi syempre, technology na tayo ngayon, gamitin natin yung technology that's available to us. And it's this one, no? Okay, so let's now compute, guys, let's now create our amortization table. Okay, correct, no? Sophia, yung mahabang formula na yan. Okay, so ang gagawin natin, ito yung layout natin yung table natin. So, month 0, nag-loan tayo niyan. Wala pang interest payment yan, wala pang principal. Wala pang payment sa interest, wala pang payment sa principal. Kasi, guys, remember this is annuity ordinary. So, pagka-loan natin, at the end of month 0 pa, magkakaroon ng payment. So, that will be month 1. Dito pa magkakaroon ng payment. So, initially, walang interest, walang principal. And the month-end principal will be yung 4.5 million, no? So, ito yung utang natin. Okay. Now, ilang periods yung isi-set up natin? 360. Ito, di ba? Kasi 30 years tayo, monthly siya, so 360. So, gamitin natin, guys, yung ano natin, yung natutunan natin, home, and then field, di ba? Yung series natin. Okay, column siya. And then, take note, nakasimula ako sa 0, no? Step value, tigo 1 siya, increments of 1 up to 360. There, up to 360, okay. There, check natin, hanggang 360 na siya. Okay, that will be now your payments per month. Okay, let's start with month 1. Sa month 1, magbabayad na tayo. Yung ibabayad natin is 39,075.69. Okay, monthly amortization to. Uniform stream of cash flows. Ito yung ibabayad natin every month for the next 360 months. No? Okay, so how much will accrue to interest? Okay, the interest, guys, will be based on equal to magkano yung principal balance natin. So, titignan natin magkano yung balance ng principal natin the previous month, and then i-multiply natin sa interest rate. The interest, guys, should be yung monthly interest. Yan. And then we can fix this. Fix natin kasi gagamitin natin yung interest niyan to the other cells. Yung F16, hindi natin i-fix yan kasi ikakopy down natin to pababa. Dapat bumababa din yung ending balance. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, wow. Okay, so yung 39,075 na binayad natin, 37,000 will go to interest. Therefore, okay, so i-explain lang natin to. So di ba, ang babayaran natin every month is 39,075. So review. Okay. So dito, 39,075.69. Excuse me. So this is the annual amortization, the monthly amortization. No? Ang tanong, ilan dyan yung pupunta sa interest, ilan yung pupunta sa principal? So of course, we want the principal payments to be higher. Kasi yung interest is dependent on the principal balance. Yung principal balance, depende yun sa kung magkanong principal ang binabayaran natin. So for the first month, guys, tingnan nyo, no? Tingnan natin. So ang principal payments natin will just be, magkano yung ibabayaran natin? 39. So that should be F4. And then ima-minus natin yung interest. Okay? So ang mapupunta lang sa principal, ang reduction lang sa principal is 2 million at 2,000. That means, guys, sa first month, so 37,000 divided by 39,000, 95% yung mapupunta sa sa interest, no? And then the remaining na mga 5% lang ang mapupunta sa principal. Okay? So ganun talaga, guys, sa initial months, talagang ang laki na napupunta sa interest, mas konti na pupunta sa principal. So ang formula nito ngayon, 4.5 yung month-end principal natin, bawasan natin ng 2.4. Yan. So ito pa rin yung principal balance natin. So next year, guys, itong formula natin na to, okay, we can copy this down. Kasi ang mangyayari niyan, F15 ngayon, ito na yung bagong balance natin times B10. Okay, ito naman, guys, pwede din natin i-copy pababa to kasi it will now be based on the interest payment ng month 2 minus the yung principal, yung amortization pala minus the interest. And then ito then, guys, pwede natin ibaba to. It will be equal to the month end minus the principal payment. Okay, so we can highlight all of these three. Okay, and then, in fact, pwede natin yung nakikita niyo yung crosshair dun sa bottom right, then just double click this there. Okay, ulitin lang natin Control Z. So ito sa month 1, pag kinopy ko to sa month 2, okay, let's take a look at this. So notice guys, what happens to your interest payments? Your interest payments get smaller and smaller while your principal payments get bigger and bigger. Bakit ganon? Kasi nababawasan na yung principal natin, yung balance ng principal. So pag nabawasan yung principal natin, the computation of the interest rate of the interest payment is equal to the ending principal times the monthly rate, no? Eh since fixed naman to, fixed tong 0.8229, tapos lumiliit yung ending principal balance natin. So liliit yung interest natin compared to the previous years. Okay? So ngayon, kung i-compute natin yung percentage is equal to this one divided by this one. Okay, it's still 94%, 94.72 ito 94.76. But as we go down the line, guys, copy na natin to. Again, dun sa crosshair na to, click down. Okay, then pagtingin natin dito guys sa baba, yun, zero balance na tayo on the 360th month, 360th period. And notice guys, yung ano natin, yung interest payments, it becomes smaller and smaller, di ba? Tingnan nyo, nagdi-decrease siya over time hanggang 380 na lang sa dulong-dulo. Tapos yung principal natin dito, malaki na. So over time guys, lumiliit yung interest natin. Okay? It's being, bumababa siya. Okay? Tapos ito naman, ito, lumalaki. In fact, you can, okay, pwede natin i-plot. Okay. Insert. Okay, tingnan natin kung okay. So we can see here guys na ito yung payment natin sa interest, bumababa over time, and then ito tumataas yun sa principal natin. Now there's a point here na equal yung ano natin, no? Sabi dito sa 277, sa 0.277 equal yung interest natin at saka yung principal. Tingnan nga natin yan. Sa 277, so halos equal yung principal natin at saka interest. Okay, dito. No? Hindi naman exactly the same, but very close, no? Very close sila. Okay, so clear so far, guys. Pause muna ako. Kita natin yung behavior ng ng interest payments. Control X ko to. Control X, dito ko siya ilalagay. Lagay ko sa taas. Control. And then the decrease is not linear, no? Hindi siya linear, mukhang exponential din, mukhang logarithmic siya. No? So this is how your principal payments goes. Tumataas siya, tumataas. Interest naman bumababa siya, bumababa. So pagdating ng mga 360, halos wala nang interest payment. Tapos dito, halos 39,000 na yung napunta dun sa sa principal payments. Yung ibig sabihin halos lahat na binabayad na for principal payments. Okay. Tingnan natin guys yung kung magkano yung binayad natin sa interest, no? If we sum this up, out equal to, copy ko to the right. Okay, take a look at this. Yung binayad natin sa principal, syempre 4.5 million yun. Pero tingnan nyo guys yung binayad natin sa interest, no? It's almost times 2. More than times 2 pa nga, no? 9.56 million. So nakikita nyo guys yung interest, no? yung binabayad natin sa interest expense. Kasi nga ang compounding nito monthly eh. Okay, this would have been different guys kung ang compounding nito, kunyari semi-annual lang. No? Kunyari semi-annual lang, 2 times a year lang yung payment. Gawin natin itong 2. Okay, example lang. Oh. Of course, lalaki yung ano natin, yung monthly amortization. Okay, and then 60 na lang yung ano. Okay. Pagdating ng 60, naging ano na, no? Nag-zero out na dito. Okay, hindi natin makikita dito yung sum ng ano ng interest unless magkaroon tayo ng helper column na i-add natin yung cumulative na interest. So let me just see, no, is equal to sum of this colon. Fix ko to. Hanggang 60 dito. Okay, so kung 9.6 pa rin, malaki pa rin yung interest. 9.614 pa rin yung interest kung semi-annual yung ano, semi-annual yung periods natin. Okay, sige, ibalik ko na lang yung example muna natin ha. Okay, we'll discuss this more yung in greater detail tong ano tong gawin kong ulit 12 to 12. Okay, so binalikan natin yung ano natin yung original problem. Okay, it's almost time guys. So so for example, I can ask this question, magkano yung ano, magkano yung we can create a table kung magkano yung interest payments natin for year 1, year 1, year 1, year lang, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year. Mahaba pala to, ano? So dapat to fill natin, fill series columns, step value 1 hanggang 30 years, no? Okay, so hanggang 30 to. We can compute, guys, for how much was the total interest payments and how much was the principal payments. Okay. So actually, guys, pwede nyo gawin ng ano yan, isang formula. Tapos copy na lang. One formula for interest, one formula for principal. Okay, so the long formula, the long cut is this one. So sa year 1, no, is equal to, we can use the cumulative, okay, cumulative interest payment. Yan. Cumulative IPMT returns the cumulative interest paid between 2 periods. So let's use this cumulative interest payment. Ano yung rate natin, guys? Rate natin is, siyempre, yung annual natin, annual, monthly. This one, comma. And then what's the next one? N per natin is, ang N per natin is 360, no? Comma. Next is, ano yung start period natin? Our start period is month 1 hanggang month, okay, wait. PV natin is the, PV pa pala, no? PV is the 4.5 million. Okay. Okay. And then start period is month 1, end period is month 12. And then type is ordinary annuity. Kailangan ilagay natin yan. So this will now compute, guys, yung magkano yung total interest natin from months 1 to months 12, which is year 1. Control Enter. Okay. So lagyan natin ng negative dito para positive yung lumabas na answer. Control Enter. Okay. And then I'll just copy the format of this. Yan. So ang sinasabi sa atin dito, guys, ang total interest na binayaran natin for year 1 is 443,258, no? Ano nga natin, guys? I-check nga natin kung tama. Okay, so this is month 1 up to month 12, di ba? So ito. No? How much is this? Yan natin is equal to sum. So interest natin from months 1 up to month 12. How much is that? 443233.58. Okay, so is it the same as this one? Yes, 443233.58. So magkano naman yung binayad natin sa principal? Cumulative cumulative principal payments. Okay, so andali, ako copyhin ko lang to. Okay, Control C is equal to cumulative principal, Control V. Okay, so this is the rate B10. So NPER is B11, PV is B6. So beginning period is 1, ending period is 12. Okay, so nagkaiba lang guys dun sa ginamit natin na function. Okay, so copy natin yung format nito. Nilagyan natin ng negative dito. Negative. Okay. So sa year 1 guys, from months 1 to 12, ang binayad natin na interest is 443233. Tapos ang binayad natin na principal is 25,674. Okay, so actually you can create a model, no, na ano niyo lang to, i-copy down niyo lang para makuha niyo yung total interest payment sa year 1 hanggang year 30. I leave that to you guys. So siguro gagawa din ako, then compare tayo ng notes next meeting. Okay. It's okay, Lexi, no? Okay, it's time na pala, no? Sorry, sorry guys. Sorry for extending for 2 minutes. All right, it's time already. Na-cover naman natin yung topic natin. Just one word, guys. Next meeting, ang gagawin natin, gagawa tayo ng ng dynamic na amortization table. I'm sure hindi niyo pa nagagawa 'yon. So much so that babalitan lang natin years dito. Kunyari, yung choices natin dun sa 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, tapos automatically guys, dapat magbabago na yung amortization table natin. Okay? Magbabago na siya. Kunyari kung 2 years, dapat magiging 24 lang, etc. Okay, so we'll end our discussion here. Thank you so much guys. Thank you so much for your participation. You have a blessed afternoon ahead and have a nice weekend. Please keep safe everyone. So thank you everyone. Keep safe.
Thank you po, sir.
Salamat. Yung
Thank you,
magpapacheck.
Coach.
Thank you
Thank
po.
you.
Goodbye. Thank you, Coach.
Goodbye guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, salamat. Guys, yung magpapacheck na attendance, please remain.
Goodbye. Thank you po.
Thank you. Thank you. Ingat din ha. Salamat. Okay, yung magpapacheck na attendance, anyone, please? Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you. Yeah. Marion, sige, ano yung question mo? Go ahead.
Sir, yung yung companies po na nakuha namin, naka-base po siya sa millions yung value.
Okay.
So, yun na lang po yung gagawin namin.
Yun
Kahit
na lang,
hindi
parang-
po ganun ka-detailed.
Kasi yun lang gamitin nyo, yung in millions na lang din. So, pero pag nag-analyze
Kasi po-
kayo, make sure that yung analysis nyo in millions din, no?
Okay. Kasi po ang weird kasi yung data po, kumare cash, 2 lang. Okay lang po yan?
2?
Opo, 2. Like 2 lang.
Audited ba yan? Audited FS ba yan? Baka hindi audited yan, ha?
Ano po yun? Ano po yun?
Audited financial statements. Dapat audited financial statements yung kinuha nyo, ha?
Dapat audited financial
Oo,
statement.
dapat
Okay,
audited
check
yun.
ko po.
Check nyo muna, ha?
So,
PM
Opo.
lang kung may
Pero-
questions pa.
tapos
Pero-
ano po? Yung meron din
Meron din. Mario, nawawala ka. Mario, choppy ka. Hindi ko nakuha yung yung question mo.
weird lang. Oh no. Hi, sir.
Yes?
On
Marion? Are you speaking? Hindi kita naririnig.
Sir, nag-leave po. Ay,
nag-leave.
na-disconnect po ata.
Ka-group mo ba si Marion?
Opo.
O ano yung question niyo?
Nasa kanya po kasi yung,
Nasa kanya.
yung tatanungin po.
Sige. Kung ano na lang, sabi nyo, chat na lang ha. I-chat ako for questions, no?
Okay po.
I'll reply na lang ha.
Sa Canvas po?
Hindi, sa Messenger. Sa Facebook.
Okay po.
Sige.
Ay, bumalik po siya.
Bumalik na siya.
Opo.
Ayan, dyan na si Marion. Marion, yung question mo, can you hear me now? Okay, baka mahina yung signal niya. Darlene, pakisabi lang kay Marion na na i-chat niya ako ha for the question. Ayan na, sige.
Email ka na lang po.
Sige. Email or chat, no?
Thank you po.
Sige. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you,
Thank you
Marion.
po.
Okay, keep safe ha. Sige.